All right, guys, we're going to jump into another section in Unit 4. We are moving right along. This section is on writing and graphing inequalities. So, what is my learning intention? The learning intention is to be able to write inequalities and represent solutions of inequalities on number lines. How are you going to know you're successful? You're going to write word sentences as inequalities, determine whether a value is a solution of an inequality, and graph the solution of inequalities. So, first, we're going to talk about writing an inequality, and it's important to actually know what an inequality is before we can be successful. So, an inequality is a mathematical statement that compares two expressions to show their relationship, which could mean one value is greater than, less than, or in some cases, equal to another value. So let's look over here on the side really quick. I did want to break down this word. So this word is not just used in math. This is a word that you will hear in other places. So it's good to know, what does that even mean? What is inequality? So if we break up the word inequality into different parts, we can see that in this case, in inequality means not. And the equal, which we know equal, all right, we know equal means the same. And then T means the state of being. So if you put those together, it means the state of being not the same. So if someone's talking about inequality, whether it's mathematical or something different, they're saying that it is not the same. So whatever's happening in things that are being compared to each other are not having the same result. Okay. So for us, we're talking about comparing two mathematical statements. Okay, so here are the symbols that you'll see, and here are some key phrases that go along with those symbols to help you know which symbol do I need to use when I'm writing an inequality. In this one, the most common is called less than, but you might also hear fewer than, below, under. Okay. This symbol is most commonly called the greater than symbol, or you might see or hear more than, over, or exceeds. This one is most commonly less than or equal to, but you might also see at most, no more than, cannot exceed, limit. This one is most commonly called the greater than or equal to sign, but you might also see in your word sentences at least, no less than, minimum. Okay. This is not the end all be all of phrases that you could see. These are more common phrases that you can see, but this just helps give you an idea of what type of wording you're looking for. But if you know of certain variations that are the same, if they're synonyms to under or below or exceeds or limit or at least, then you know that they're going to apply with those symbols. So my example here is you ate no more than 3 donuts. Well, if I go back up here, I know the no more than is also our less than or equal to sign. So I would say I got to choose my variable because I'm the one writing the inequality, and I chose y for you. So I put y is less than or equal to 3. So I know that I can eat 3 donuts, but I'm not eating any more than 3 donuts, right? So I'm going to say my y is less than or equal to, because I could eat 2, I could eat 1, maybe I'm going to eat none. Who knows? So anything 3 or less is what my answer is going to be. So you're going to try that on this page yourself. Don't let it stress you out. It's not really daunting. And I have also underlined some key points for you. So, your key phrases here, just to give you a little bit of guidance as you try this out for the first time. So, you're going to use the key phrases that you see up here, and you're going to write out an inequality. So, this first one says you sent more than 11 letters in the mail. So, something you need to know is that you get to choose the variable. So choose whichever letter you want. And then you're going to find which symbol is representing more than. I'm going to look up here which one is representing more than. So I'm going to put my variable. I'm going to put the symbol for more than. And then on the opposite side of the symbol, I'm going to put the number 11. Okay, so you're going to do that for all of these. Choose your variable, find the symbol for under, then write 5 on the other side. Choose your variable, find the symbol, write your number. Choose the variable, find your symbol, write the number. Okay, so you're going to try that. You can pause the video and just get it done now, or you can go through the rest of the notes and come back to the try it. But remember, the try it are required because this helps you learn. Tell me you remember hearing that in this video, and I will give you some extra pat tickets. So I'm going to move along to the next page. So on this side, we're going to be talking about checking solutions. So this was part of our success criteria. So this side is going to focus on that. So when we're checking solutions, that means that if I'm going to put in a value for my variable, I need to make sure that it actually makes sense with the symbol that I already have in my expression. Okay, so the value of an inequality is a value that makes an inequality true. What does that mean? So if I have p plus 3 is greater than -9 if p equals 2. So now what I need to do is I need to put this 2 in place of p. And then I need to see, is it still going to be greater than? And if it's not, then it is not a solution of the inequality. So let's see. If I put 2 in for p, it's 2 plus 3 is 5. Is 5 greater than -9? I would say yes, right? Because anything that's negative is going to be less than a positive number. So this would definitely be a solution of this inequality. Okay, so what is the solution set? The solution set is all solutions of an inequality. So back to this one, if p plus 3 is greater than -9, I know for sure that I can say anything that is a higher value than -9 would be able to be on this side. So that would be, I could write out all of those answers. So I had 2, I could put 1, I could even put 0 because that would still give me 3. If I had a negative number in for p and plus 3 and it still was higher than -9, that would work. So if I wanted to sit out and just figure out how many answers would work in this, that would be called my solution set. Okay, so here's some guided practice. I already did the work here, so I'm just going to walk through it really quick. So first, to determine if a point is a solution to an inequality, you need to plug that value in and determine if the inequality is true. Okay, so that's kind of what we just did up there in the checking for solutions, but I have two problems here. So it says, is t equals 3 a solution to 3t plus 7 is, what do you think this symbol is? Is less than or equal to 14. Okay, let's see if we can figure it out. So if I put 3 in for t, it's going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. So then I'm going to take 9 plus 7, which is 16. Is 16 less than or equal to 14? Nope, you should have said no. It is not less than or equal to. Anything less than or equal to 14 would be 14 or less, right? That's what less than or equal to means. So this is a false statement. This is not a solution. So t equals 3 is not part of our solution set. So let's look at this one. If is t equals -3 a solution to 3t plus 7 is less than or equal to 14? Well, let's try it out. I'm going to put -3 in for t. So 3 times -3, which becomes -9. Then I'm going to take -9 plus 7, which would be -2 because different signs we subtract, keep the sign of the larger number, right? So -2 is -2 less than or equal to 14? Yes, yes, it is. Because like we said, anything 14 or less would be a solution to this expression, this inequality. So we would say this is true. So t equals -3 is part of our solution set. All right, so there is a try it section for you. What you're going to do is the same exact thing I just did up here in the guided practice. Determine if the following values are solutions to the inequality 3r plus 4 is greater than or equal to 13. So you're going to follow the same exact steps I did here. So we're going to start by writing it, write it out. Then you're going to start by replacing the -5 with the r. Multiply those together, add them to 4, see what your solution is, and then determine, is it still accurate? Is this still going to be greater than or equal to 13? So you're going to do that for all three of these, and then you're going to tell me it's false or it's true, and then you're going to say t or r equals -5 is not part of the solution set or it is part of the solution set. You tell me what happens here. Okay? Then you have another one. Determine if the following values are solutions to inequality. -2r plus 5 is greater than 11. So again, write out the problem, plug in -3 for r, -5, 0 in each one of these boxes. Solve it and see, is this still going to be greater than 11? And then tell me if it is a part of the solution set or if it is not. Okay, so again, you can pause the video if you'd like. If you would like to wait till the end of the video and then come back to the try it sections, that's fine, but don't forget they are required. Okay, so this looks like a lot, but it's only 4 different problems, okay? So it's really not as much. So we have talked about writing an inequality. We have talked about determining whether a value is a solution of an inequality. And now our last part for this section is to be able to graph the solutions of inequalities, okay? So first, we should probably know what is a graph of an inequality. Here's some vocab for you. A graph that shows all the solutions of an inequality on a number line. So if somebody says, what is a graph of an inequality? You would be able to say, oh, well, that shows all the solutions of an inequality on a number line. So I broke this up into 4 parts for you. I want you to be able to see each symbol and how they would look on a number line. So this one is going to focus on greater than, and I put some key phrases here. So greater than could also be is more than, is greater than, is above, okay? So my inequality says graph x is greater than 3, which would also be x is more than 3. Okay, that's what it's telling me. That's what this is telling me. It is more than 3. So I am going to start at 3 with my circle. This is going to be an open circle. Why is it going to be an open circle? It's going to be an open circle because this means that it is not equal to 3. Okay, so if I put an open circle, that means that this answer, my x cannot be 3 because this does not say greater than or equal to. It just says it is greater than 3. So to be able to show that on my number line, I will keep my circle open. Okay, so an open circle, anytime you see an open circle, that tells you that it means it's not equal. So I'm going to put it here, and then it says it's more than or greater than 3. So I know no matter what, it could be hundreds of thousands of numbers, but it is going to be anything more than the number 3. So then I'm going to make my arrow going this way on the number line. It is going to go up in numbers. And then just as a little helpful tip, so you have your greater than symbol, looks like this arrow. When you have when you have your arrow going this way, you will see the greater than symbol. Okay, so that's kind of a reminder. Do they look the same? Are my arrows facing the right direction? Because if I was doing this problem, my arrow would be facing this way. That would tell me, oh, they're not facing the right direction. So that's just another little tip to help you remember which way you're supposed to go. Okay, so I graphed x is greater than 3 by putting my circle on the 3, leaving my circle open so that everybody that sees this knows that that means it is not equal to 3. And then I put my line on my number line going up. So if I didn't see this, I have no idea what I graphed. Somebody would be able to come and look at this number line and say, oh, so the inequality set is telling me that the variable is greater than 3 because I can say that it is definitely not greater than or equal to. Okay, so that's your goal. Because eventually you're going to be looking at number lines and you're going to have to decide what is this telling me. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Less than. This is what it looks like. It also could mean is less than, is below, is fewer than. So my problem tells me to graph x is less than 5, which is telling me x is fewer than 5. So I am going to take my circle and I am going to put it on 5. Again, I am going to have an open circle because an open circle means it is not equal to the number that it's on. It cannot be equal because that's not what it tells me here. Right here, it's saying x is less than 5. It is fewer than 5. So it cannot be 5. So my circle is going to be open and my arrow is going to go down because it's telling me fewer than, less than, below. So it has to be going down on the number line. And then as you see over here, the less than symbol. So I have my arrow at the end. It's going this direction. It matches my less than symbol there. So that's another hint to me that I'm graphing it correctly. Okay? Let's move on to the next one. So you have greater than or equal to. So this could mean is greater than or equal to, is at least, is no less than, or the minimum. There might be some different phrases that I put on the front page. You could check that out. So here's what it tells me. Graph x is greater than or equal to 1. So that's telling me x is a minimum of 1. So it could be 1, but it could be anything higher than 1 as well. So I know my very first step is I'm going to put my circle on the 1. Now, this time, my circle is going to be closed. So I'm going to fill it in. It is a closed circle because a closed circle means it is equal to. Because this is what it's telling me. It is either greater than or equal to. So it tells me it can be 1, but it could be 2, it could be 2.5, it could be 3, it could be 1,000. I have no idea. It could be anything 1 or higher. So I closed up my circle on the 1, and then I am putting my arrow going up on the number line because it is greater than. And then again, here's my greater than symbol to help me remember that I'm going in the right direction. So my last one on this page is the less than or equal to. So less than or equal to is less than or equal to is at most, is no more than, is no greater than, it's the maximum. Okay, so graph x is less than or equal to 4. So x is no more than 4. So what I need to do first is I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to put my circle on 4. My circle is going to be a closed circle because that means it is equal to, and that is what this tells me. It tells me that x could be 4, but it could be less than 4. It's no more than 4. So it could be 4, but it could be something all the way at the end. It could be negative 100. I have no idea. So I'm going to close my circle at 4 and I'm going to go down on the number line. And then my less than symbol is going the right direction. So that shows me I am doing the right thing. I know this is a long video. I will not give you any other assignments today. So just keep chugging along. You're doing a great job. Okay, last side. This is where you are going to try it. So I have created the number line and your inequality here. You're going to use the tools that you have and looking at the information you have on this page to try to graph these yourself. Use the open circle, the closed circle, make sure you have your arrow going in whichever direction it needs to go. And you're going to try all four of these: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. I have also put one other one on here that you're going to do a little bit more work on of your own. So this is graph it. Must be at least 48 inches tall to ride. Okay, so here's my ride. You have to be at least 48 inches tall. Which one of these symbols goes with at least? So you're going to you choose where the number 48 is going to be. Write it on here. Put your circle. Is it going to be a closed circle, an open circle? Are you going to make your arrow go to the left or to the right? You decide, and then we will talk about it. Okay? Thanks for hanging in there. Hey, if you finish this whole video, I have some extra patch tickets for you. So make